The cake knife trembled in my hand. 16 candles burned in front of my daughter, their tiny flames reflecting in her eyes as everyone clapped and cheered. I forced a smile, the kind that strains your jaw, the kind that hides everything that's rotting inside. "Come on, Dad." Amelia laughed, motioning for me to join her. "You have to help me cut the cake." My wife, Laura, stood beside her, elegant, glowing, pretending nothing was wrong. Her perfume, vanilla and lilac, wrapped around me like a ghost. I used to love that scent. Now it made my stomach twist. The room was filled with laughter, balloons, and the happy chaos of family. My mother poured punch, my father joked with my brother Michael near the window, and I was counting heartbeats. Every one louder than the last. 'Cause I knew. And tonight I was going to make them all know that I knew. When the applause faded, I cleared my throat. "Before we get to the presents, I have something special for Amelia." Laura turned, smiling, though I saw the flicker of fear in her eyes. My mother's hand froze mid-pour. My father looked down at his drink. Michael's grin faltered. I took a small, neatly wrapped box from under the table and handed it to Amelia. "Go on, sweetheart. Open it." She tore the wrapping paper like always. Impatient, eager, alive. When she lifted the lid, confusion clouded her face. "It's a DNA test kit," she said, looking at me. "Yeah," I said softly, smiling. "I thought it'd be fun to learn about where we come from." The air changed instantly. The laughter disappeared. My wife's hand went to her throat. My parents looked like statues. "David," Laura whispered, voice trembling. "What are you doing?" "Celebrating family," I said, my voice calm. "Come. Isn't that what today's about?" 3 months earlier, I'd been cleaning the attic when I found an old photo album tucked inside a dusty box. Inside were hospital photos from the day Amelia was born. Her tiny fingers, Laura's tired smile. But then there was something odd. A hospital bracelet pressed into the page beside the photo. Patient, Laura Bennett. Father, unknown. At first I thought it was a clerical error. Then, tucked beneath that page, I found another sheet. Paternity test. My name wasn't on it. I remember sitting there, the air thick with dust, trying to breathe through disbelief. My parents' handwriting was on the envelope. My mother's neat and deliberate. When I confronted her, she broke immediately. "We did it for you," she'd said, tears running down her face. "You were so happy, David. We couldn't destroy that." "You couldn't destroy me," shouted. "You let me live a lie for 16 years. My father finally spoke, quiet but cold. "She's your daughter in every way that matters." "No," I said, my voice shaking. "She's someone's daughter. I deserve to know whose." A week later I found out. Laura was cooking dinner when I asked. Her phone buzzed on the counter, and a message popped up from M. "Thinking about you again. Always will. 16 years later and I still can't stop." "Who's M?" asked. Her hand froze midair, knife hovering above the cutting board. "David. Who is M?" She turned slowly, eyes wide. "You don't want to do this." "I do." Silence. "Michael," she whispered. "It was before we got married. One night. I didn't think. My brother." Choke. "You slept with my brother." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "It was a mistake. I was confused. You and I were fighting." I laughed, a hollow sound that didn't feel human. "So you lied. And when you got pregnant, I didn't know who the father was," she sobbed. "Your mother found out. She begged me not to say anything. Said it would destroy you and your brother." My vision blurred. So the entire family decided for me. I left the house that night. Drove until the gaslight came on. Sat on a cliffside overlooking the city lights, replaying every memory with Amelia. Her first steps, her laughter, the way she'd run to me yelling, "Daddy!" Was any of it real? Now, standing at her birthday party, I looked around the room. Every face told a different story. My father's guilt. My mother's shame. My brother's terror. My wife's silent pleading. And Amelia, sweet, Innocent Amelia, completely unaware. "Dad," she said softly. "Why's everyone so quiet?" I looked at her and felt my chest crack open. I loved her. God, I loved her more than anything. But love built on lies can't survive truth forever. "I just thought," I said slowly, "that this year we could all learn a little more about who we are." "David," my mother whispered, her voice breaking. "Please stop this." "No," I said louder now. "You stop pretending." My father slammed his drink down. "Enough. Not here." "Why not here?" Snap. "You had 16 years to tell me. You let me raise another man's child. You let me love her without knowing who she was." Laura's voice cracked. "She is your daughter." "Is she?" asked my voice low. "Then you won't mind proving it." "Daddy, you're scaring me," Amelia whispered, tears welling in her eyes. And that's when something inside me broke completely. I dropped to my knees in front of her and took her trembling hands. "Sweetheart," I said softly, "no matter what that test says, I love you. You're my little girl. Always have been. Always will be." She started crying, clutching me. "Then why are you doing this?" "Because," I whispered, "the truth should never be a gift that comes too late." Behind us, Laura sobbed. My mother tried to move forward, but I raised my hand. "Don't," I said. "You've done enough." I stood, took a deep breath, and looked at my brother. "You have anything to say, Michael?" He couldn't meet my eyes. "I didn't know, David." "Swear." "I thought she." "You didn't know." I laughed bitterly. "You knew enough to text her 16 years later." He looked down, ashamed. The room was silent except for the sound of Amelia crying softly. The party decorations, the balloons, the glitter, the cake, all looked grotesque now, like decorations for a funeral. Maybe they were. 'Cause something had died here tonight. The illusion of family. The comfort of trust. The version of me who didn't know. I walked toward the door. Laura reached out, but I stepped back. "You don't get to touch me anymore," I said quietly. "You already took everything." "David, please don't do this to her," she begged. "I'm not doing this to her," I said. "I'm doing this for her. Lies shouldn't be her inheritance." I left without looking back. Outside, the cold night air hit me like a blade. I could still hear her crying through the window, muffled but real. I didn't need a DNA test anymore. The truth had already bled out of every silence in that room. Amelia wasn't mine by blood, but she was mine in every way that mattered, except the one that everyone I loved had stolen from me. And I'd never let them forget it.